Sergei Milinkovic-Savic has turned down a huge bid. Is it only Juventus for the player? Bonucci, are we getting close to a goodbye with Leonardo and Chiesa? Who are the front runners coming in for Federico Chiesa? All that, all the mercato news right now. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. This is the AJC. I'm Alberto. Let's rock. We're going to kick things off with the UEFA ruling Juventus continues to wait for. We are 10 days away from that deadline. If we do not receive the ruling, what is going to happen is that makes the penalty kick off for the 24-25 season. Hey, look, we can already see where this is going, all right? UEFA, I expect them to let us play in the Conference League this season, past the deadline for the ruling, and then when the ruling kicks in, that'll keep us out of Champions League for one more season, kicking things off for the 24-25 season, okay? So, hey, that's what I fully expect to happen. I think we can all expect that to happen, and I've got a salute for UEFA, and everybody knows what it is. Now, we go to Bonucci. The Bonucci story is heating up today, and it looks like we are set for a goodbye with Leonardo, okay? And Mirko Di Natale, who's going to be live with us on Sunday, all right? Make sure you join us 8:30 a.m. Eastern time so you can get all your questions directly into the man himself. He says this is definitely a situation worth monitoring. Other sources have said that he's had talks for several days now with other clubs, Newcastle being listed as one of them. It's also being said he's already been saying goodbye to his teammates and that it's being this feeling that he's been pushed out of the project at Juventus and a disconnect, and we've seen the signs for that coming since the end of this past season, where he was one leaking out kind of information about the disarray in the locker room and the friction between a group of players and Max Allegri, whatnot. So this is a long time coming. This is going to help Juventus, though, when you look at his salary and whatnot, and how he's able to perform on the pitch now. This is a move that makes sense, that has to happen, and we're apparently getting very, very close to it, all right? So Bonucci's exit, keep eyes on that one. Zakaria and West Ham getting very, very close. Some sources say that West Ham is pushing for a loan with option to purchase somewhere around 18 million euros. Romeo Agresti says the deal could be done at 20 million euros as a straight up sale, all right? So we're very, very close to that one. It could go down at any moment. Berardi's name continues to be linked with Juventus. However, there are no actual contacts that have been made as of yet reported by anybody, but his name continues to linger around Juventus. Rodri Sanchez, his name continues to be linked with Juventus. He is valued at 25 million euros, and some sources say Juve could be going in on him very, very soon. Add him to the list. Allegri apparently has asked for a left-footed center back, and what's different about this report is that, contrary to everything we were hearing yesterday, which is Juve would have to move Bremer to bring in a center back target, this is apparently a request that has been made with Bremer remaining, which I think all of us can really agree on needs to happen, all right? So Allegri wants a left-footed partner for Bremer. Hermoso's name continues to pop up when this is brought up. So there you have it right now. Hermoso still being heavily linked with Juventus. Vlahovic, the latest on him coming from Bild, who is very, very close-knit with Bayern Munich, saying that Bayern Munich is dropping interest in Dusan Vlahovic, all right? We know there were some Prem teams in for Vlahovic, but I don't think anybody is going to be coming in with an offer that is going to swayed Juve's decision into selling the player. I really don't think it's going to happen. And I think that's why Giuntoli, and we've been hearing the rumors about him trying to clean up the relationships and some of the friction that could be there between locker room and Max Allegri. Chiesa, one of those players heavily involved in that, and the news is the same. Apparently Newcastle is the front runner for Chiesa. Chiesa getting a lot of attention and a lot of interest. Apparently Newcastle wants to buy in at 40 million euros, but Chiesa won't move for less than 60 million euros from Juventus. That is their number, where they will be happy with the capital that comes in from it. But Giuntoli apparently does not want to see Chiesa go and is going to be working to correct the matters of the dressing room and the coach and all the friction and see what he can do, because apparently Giuntoli wants to keep Chiesa around, all right? And I think the large majority of the fan base can agree with that. Now, Sergei Milinkovic-Savic, this is the big one. Apparently gets a big, rich offer out of Saudi Arabia, and he has refused it. Sources saying that this obviously plays into the storyline that we've been hearing for quite some time. The confirmed news dating back to halfway through this past season that Juve has an agreement with his entourage, his agent, and the player to come in, and the contract is already in set. And sources saying that it is only Juve for Sergei Milinkovic-Savic, and he is waiting. Obviously, dating back to what I spoke about earlier with the Zakaria deal, that is one that is going to help Juve getting closer to this move. But when we look at the overall big picture here in the midfield for Juventus, that Rabiot re-signing, I always said I would have waited if I was Juventus. Now, if Sergei Milinkovic-Savic comes in and Pogba's body can stay fit, and you've got Rabiot, who you would have to think is expecting big minutes based on his renewal and taking up the renewal with Juventus. You've got Locatelli, you've got Fagioli, you've got Rovella. We are getting flooded there. I don't want to take minutes away from the young guys, but the possibility of 4 players playing in the midfield in a diamond, one of them being an attacking mid, and all of a sudden if you take 2 players and use them as attacking mids, it makes sense, and you're not going to lose minutes on Fagioli and Rovella. Not a lot of minutes anyway. So, hey, we'll have to see how this plays out. But Sergei Milinkovic-Savic news heating up around Juventus. Guys, that wraps up the daily update video today. You know the drill. Let me know what you think about everything you just heard here in the comment section to this video. And I'll be back tomorrow with some more. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. And as always, fino alla fine. Forza Juve, the news is heating up, just like Romeo Gresti said. Now that Giuntoli's around, things are going to heat up.